Joe Diomede here, Telemon at the Rio Local Festival in Toulouse, and I'm talking with a friend of mine that I met through living in our lovely part of the world, Kae Tempest, and she's performing tonight. And tonight's a big day for Kate, but let me introduce Kate. Kate, how are you?
I'm really good, Joe. Thank you for having me on your whatever this is.
Yeah, my Telemon my worldwide newscast. Yes. So Kate, yeah, thank you for given me a quick interview. Your music, your poetry, everything. Where do you get the inspiration for the work? I watched one of your videos from 5 years ago with the war, with the father coming home from war,
yeah.
and I'm looking at this maybe, I don't know, 25-year-old girl then, and I'm going, wow, how many, an old soul, where do you get the inspiration for your stuff?
I don't know really. It's like it's a combination of being open to people and to experience, and kind of sensitivity. It's openness and sensitivity really. I think that makes somebody turn to creativity to express. So it comes from interactions, encounters, people that I meet and know, experiences I've had that I'm working through in ways that I don't even fully understand until I find that it comes out into something I've written.
Right. So the other stuff that you do, I mean, you're a London girl, yeah?
Yeah.
Born and bred?
Born and bred. I've lived in South London my whole life, apart from 1 year where I lived in Ariège.
Where we met.
Yeah.
And how do we meet? I got you that bike.
Yeah, you got me an amazing bike. It was beautiful. I was really inspired actually by your whole setup and meeting your family and like just hearing the stories of how you guys had found each other and the life that you'd built together. I enjoyed meeting you guys. It was cool.
Well, thanks. Yeah, and it was double for us. We just kind of met after I was doing my Give It a Go thing. Actually, I had just come back and we met at the market, and it was like, oh, that's Kae Tempest. I was like, sorry, but I didn't, you hadn't entered my world. And then when you did, I was like, wow. And so, what's the tour you're on right now? You're touring European cities, just? So
this is like a summer tour of festivals. So album came out today, which is crazy because I'm not at home when it happens. I've been kind of on the road, so it's a strange time to clock in with the fact that all this stuff we've been working like months for this particular moment, and today is the beginning for this album to have its life. Anyway, yeah, we tour European festivals, and then at the end of the summer we hit the States for a bit, and then we come back and we do headline UK and Europe, and then we go back to the States. It's a long old thing.
Busy. Yeah, I was talking to Asri before. She was saying you got 18 months of touring ahead of you?
Yeah, but it's cool. I feel like that little time in Ariège, that was my like recharge moment. So I have to be able to draw from that experience even when I'm run down and things are tough. I can still close my eyes and I can see those mountains, like that valley. I can hear that kind of music, and I don't know, it chills me out,
Yeah. A lot of people say that would come visit. I had a friend who visited 8 years ago, and he works in a bar in Manhattan. And I saw him, and he goes, when I get crazy, I just think, oh yeah, Montbron, yeah, cool.
There was this like amazing horse that lived up in the field. Like I've obviously never really lived around animals because I grew up in the city. And where we were living, there was like at one time there was like 20 goats that just were in the really really close to where we were living, and there were these 2 horses. One of them was so cool. He would just come over and just say hi. He was all white. He had this kind of far away hair. I don't know, like just that kind of stuff, like having these experiences with silence, with nature, with animals, with the mountains. Like for me, I used to look for that feeling in a crowd, in cities, in human stuff. Like, and I would feel awe-inspired by the movement of lots of people in a city. But having that to go back to, it just gives me this sense of freedom, even when it's like really a rigorous schedule or you're kind of stuck on the bus.
Yeah, stuck sleeping on the bus. Yeah, I'm sure lots of nights sleeping on that bus, Jess, right there. There goes the tour bus. And show him the bike. What the heck, Jess? That's the new one we just got for her. Very good. And so tell me quickly about, you said the album launches today. So this is an auspicious day. Her album hits the worldwide market today. What is the album about? What is your poetry?
It's called The Book of Traps and Lessons, and it is poetry, but it's poetry with music. It's the first album that I made with the guidance of a producer called Rick Rubin, who's yeah, right.
Okay. Yes, very nice.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's been an amazing journey and like crazy process going out to Malibu and recording in his studio, and and he has been looking for me to find this thing in my writing and in my style that has been quite challenging at times. This idea of kind of stripping back all the conventions and getting closer to the essential thing. And this is it. This is the product of like 5 years of kind of trying and being challenged and breaking through. While everything else was going on work-wise, this album has been kind of cooking away in the background. And now it's ready.
So this is your first album?
This is my first album with Rick. No, so this is album number 4.
Okay.
My first album was with a band. Next 2 albums solo with Dan Carey. This album is also with Dan Carey, who wrote the music, but we had the kind of presence of Rick Rubin, like holding the space with us. Yeah, crazy.
And that was your last trip when you went to LA, and then you also convened with nature a bit on that trip?
Yeah. We went to the High Sierra. My partner and I, we've got this like camper van that we rented, and we went and camped out in the Sequoia forest. Up to the High Sierra, there was a huge saltwater lake called Mono Lake where we camped out. It was crazy. It was like, it was the most amazing experience actually I think that I've ever had. We really got stuck in, and just the adventure that we had was beautiful. We met loads of cool people and we saw amazing things, and then I went from that straight into recording this album, literally off the back of that trip. Pulled up at this Swiss studio, like in our dusty old car, like full of, been camping out in this like tour bus that we rented that was like all painted like a stained glass window into like a really plush studio.
Cool. And so you also have books out because you're first and foremost a poet. Is that how you broke into the music world? Well, is that how you broke into the music world? Or?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Like, I do lots of different things. I write books of poetry, and also I wrote a novel. I work in the theatre. I've written plays. All the things kind of happened because of each other. I couldn't get myself a record deal, and I couldn't get myself published. But eventually, because of everything that I was doing, publishers and recording companies started taking notice because of the kind of critical mass approach of like, hold on a minute, we're trying to ignore her, but she just won't shut up. And eventually, yeah, they let me put some music out. But yeah, I do lots of different things, and my work has lots of different lives.
Excellent. Like, that's great. Like we all should. Well, I guess that's a great way to end it. Kae Tempest with so many lives, music, books, and tonight we look forward to seeing you on stage. Thanks a lot, Kate.
Thanks, Joe, and thanks so much for my bike. I love her. She's great.
Okay, parting words. Always lock
the bike. Always lock the bike.
Always lock the bike. Okay, Joe Diomede, Kae Tempest here, Real Loco. Thank you, Joe. Telly Monbron saying goodbye.